This is Anzo's main page, and it shows the 4 stages that represent a typical workflow. The first stage is where we onboard our structured and unstructured data. Here you can see we have a list of data for this demo, and then we have unstructured data, in this case, maritime news articles that are looking for ports and vessels of interest. Then we create a model that represents the concepts and how they're related based on our domain of interest. You'll notice these source entities because we collected vessel data from multiple sources and we want to track that provenance information. Next, we blend the data. First, we see all the data sets that have been loaded have been normalized to the graph model and harmonized or described using the semantic model we showed previously. Next, we create a graph mart that represents the project and the data sources that we want to analyze. In this case, you can see these are the data sources we add. Then we can explore the knowledge graph. In this case, just provides a depiction of the concepts that are in our model, but now they have numbers behind them, which means that the instances of the data in the knowledge graph are counted. So then with our data sets loaded into our knowledge graph, we create data layers. In this case, we're loading the data, and then we might perform some transformations or other computations on the data to prepare it for analysis. So then the user might want to create dashboards. You can see we have a number of dashboards for this demo. We're going to focus on the common operational picture. And on the right side, you can see a geospatial display of vessels and their tracks over time. Then in the middle, we have a table, which is a simple distribution of the countries of the vessels in our area of interest. We can also see the raw tracking data that is connected directly to the Anzo graph query engine as a streaming data source. Over on the left, we see filters that come from the knowledge graph that the users can create on demand as required. We'll narrow our view to vessels that are in the news. And then we see, for example, the vessel name along with a contextual excerpt of the content that is annotated. So we can drill down to the original file and see where our annotator found instances of vessels and ports. If we go over to our geospatial display, we can see that we can select vessels and then see the particulars about that vessel. Some of these are computed, some of these are from the data source. What's interesting about this is that the data could potentially come from multiple sources. For example, if we look at our watercraft table, this is a simple table listing all the watercrafts, but it also has the sources from which they came. If we focus our search in on a particular vessel, we can see that there are multiple vessels under the same name. If we look at a particular one of these, we can see that we have a vessel that is merged from 3 vessels overall. We can drill down into that and we can see that the same vessel came from multiple sources. Although the data varies slightly, we use a rule-based entity resolution to assert that all of these vessels entries are actually from the same vessel. And then we can drill down into a vessel and see more information. For example, the source from which it came. This allows the user to drill down onto that source and go to the original source to see the specific information that's provided from that source. That concludes this demo. I hope you enjoyed it.